Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TNC Week 8 NFL Picks. Big news for the team. We have transitioned from TNC to Against the Spread,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes,
we
sir.
are we are super excited about this. We have added talent to the team. We are adding a college football show as we announced last week. So with that
Let's
being said, we
go.
had to get rid of the TNC because we are growing, and that is, I mean, in 7 weeks we couldn't ask for more. Colm, do you want to speak a little bit more on it?
Yeah, just real quick, guys. Thanks for all the support. 7 weeks. We're almost at 700 subscribers. That's almost 100 subscribers a week. So I appreciate all you guys for the support. This has gone beyond what we already thought it was going to be. So we appreciate that. And y'all will also see that we're on socials now. We did change our socials. So if you see some random tweets coming up on your homepage or something like that, or on your Instagram, just know that is us now. We are at ATS Sports. That's two S's on sports. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the recap. Troy, you wanna start the recap here of this
Yeah.
god awful week we
So
just had?
yeah, not a good week for the boys. We went 2-5, minus 4.7 units. I went 2-2. Christian went 0-4. I'll start it with Eagles -2 was my lock of the week. I improved that to 6-1 on the year. Ravens -3 was never a sweat. I love that pick. Chargers +6. Thought we had the right spot there with fading Mahomes with the big spread. Chargers have been in one-score games. Obviously, they did. I think they didn't score a point in the second half, so that kind of made that where it was never possible. And then I had Rams -3 against the Steelers. Another one where they had the lead in the fourth quarter, didn't score any more points. Oh well. So Christian, you want to talk about yours, or you just want to move on from that?
Can we get a vibrate on that phone, big dog?
Sorry about that.
Oh, good man. But yeah, the just real quick, well, on your last pick, Troy, there, Rams -3. As y'all see, I'm in full Steelers gear here, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Kenny Pickett didn't get that first down, Troy. I mean, do the
I know
Rams
he did. I
did
know he. I
did,
know he
did
did.
the Rams go down and score? Probably not. But I mean,
He definitely didn't get the
Kenny
first
Pickett did
down
not
though.
get that first down.
Yeah.
I am in Steelers gear to tell you that. But I'll go through my picks real quick. Saints -1. Honestly, that was a play that was kind of on the fact that I was hoping that Trevor Lawrence wouldn't play. He ended up playing. He was didn't even play like he was injured. Played at full health. Absolutely just diced up the Saints. So yeah, that was lock of the week. That was a tough one there. And then I got Saints Jags, that under 40. Loved the number. Loved that play still. Only thing is for some reason these teams decided to score points that night and couldn't do anything about that. Bills -8.5. I mean, Bills are dead. They're Josh Allen's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. Um, I don't think they'll win a Super Bowl. To be honest with you, they're gonna have to do something and not big on the Bills right now. Watching that game, I watched that game pretty closely. That's a weird team, man. That's a weird team. It seems like if they're injured at all, they just completely fall apart. They got to have everybody healthy to
Hmm.
get to the playoffs, and much less have to beat Mahomes. So I mean, he won one overtime
Yeah.
game against Mahomes, and I think we give Josh Allen a little too much credit. So I kind of see the Bills in a different light now, a little bit. So yeah, that's it on that
Well,
one. That
let's
Bills game was ugly.
let's erase that week. We're still plus 7.14 units on the NFL season, so you're still positive if you've been betting with us since week one, and it'll show the unit numbers there. Um, so we'll erase that week. We'll get onto this one. We love our spots this week, and with that being said, welcome Brennan Jamar is our guest picker this week. I will want to say this: he is also a part of our college football show
Let's
that we are starting.
go.
So what a way to introduce him here
Let's
as the
go.
the guest picker. And Brennan, the floor is
Yeah,
yours.
boys. Hey, man, super excited to join the team. That logo looks freaking fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Can't say I was a part of it, but I mean, looks great. Feels great to be a part of it. Hey guys, these fellas are your picks week in, week out. Hey, like they said, absolutely racist last week. Thank God I was busy, couldn't take the picks. No, they're awesome with the NFL, man. The NFL is their thing. Me and Zach are gonna hopefully. Zach was the first guest on the show, if anybody remembers, Troy's little brother. But yeah, me and him gonna get after it in college football. Obviously, NFL's great. But hey, us folks in the South love some college football.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna have a good show. We're gonna do it a little differently,
Go Dogs.
a little different dynamic. Oh, come on. So we're gonna have we're gonna talk about previous week's reactions, like college football, man, week in, week out, it all matters. Lose one game, could be out of it. So we're gonna talk about a little more than just picks, just recap on the week, what's the look ahead, who's got a chance here. Absolutely, just have a good time with it. And then at the end of the show, we're gonna have some picks for you guys. So definitely look forward to that. We'll have that coming next week. I know we said it was coming this week, but had to figure out the systems, and we'll have it coming at you next week live for some important games. Which, I mean, by the way, this week college football is kind of down anyway, so not a bad week.
Yeah, for sure.
But hey, let's get it rolling, fellas.
All right, let's hop into it, boys. Let's hop into it. But yeah, just look out for that college show next week, because that will be up and going next week. So be on the lookout for that. Buffalo at Tampa Bay, our first game. We got Buffalo minus 8.5, over under 42.5. I just said this. We don't know what we're getting with the Bills, man. I mean, it's a different team every week. Seems like when if they're missing a key part of their defense or a key part of their offense, the whole offense or the whole defense falls apart. If you're not a team that can play through injuries in the NFL, you're not going to get wins, and you're definitely not going to cover 8.5 point spreads. If I was leaning anywhere here, it'd definitely be the Tampa Bay plus 8.5. Just don't know what the Bills are right now. What you got on this one, Troy?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, do we really think the Bills are 8.5 point favorite over this team after, like you said, the injuries and after last week? No, I don't think so. But what I do know is Josh Allen usually bounces back big. And for that reason only, I'm going to be completely out of this game, because what the Bills do after a big loss, they usually come back and cover a number by a lot. That's just been their history with Josh Allen. But I can't get behind that with how bad they played last week, and with, do I really think the Bucs are that much worse? So I'm out on this one, boys.
Absolutely. What you got on this one, Brennan?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I was strongly leaning Bills minus 8.5, but I mean, I was going to recall on your show, Bills bounce back. Bills bounce back, cover at home, big spreads. But I mean, after a tough loss last week to an embarrassing team,
right? And this is at Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
This is at Buffalo.
No, this is at Buffalo. This is in Buffalo. Yeah, this is in Buffalo. So I mean,
okay,
that's where I was wanting to lean towards it, and also,
that's my bad.
I was looking up some stuff I got, man. With Knox out, they're going to go to a 3 wide receiver set. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot more than trying to just, rumble it down the field on you. And I mean, Bucs have the 27th ranked passing defense in the game. I mean, Bills are going to be tossing this thing all over these fellas. But like you said, man, I just don't think this might not be the same Bills team we've seen in the last few years. Injuries are getting to them, and they're up and down. I mean, I think it is going to be an up week for them, but I don't. As Troy always says, there's just no value in taking this one. So we're going to stay with
absolutely.
It.
And one more thing on this.
But if I were leaning, I would take the Bills to cover, but it's not worth it to me.
And also, remember the last 2 weeks that we have said on this show, Bucs are not a good football team, that they were overvalued, and I think that they haven't covered 2 weeks in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I just same thing this week though. Like, the only reason I'm not taking Bucs plus 8.5, because the way I feel about the Bills. Only reason I'm not taking it is because I just don't think they're a good football team. They're an overvalued team. But like I said, Buffalo. Nothing.
Baker's a little banged up too.
Right.
Baker's a little banged up.
Exactly.
I mean, that even takes away their chances even more.
I love this next game. So let's go ahead and hop into this next one here. We got Atlanta at Tennessee. Tennessee plus 2. The over under 36.5. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take this one, Troy.
Yeah. So when I first saw this, I immediately wanted to take the Titans, but I looked more into it. They've been trading some guys away, and as I've said on this show a bunch, I hate public dogs. I don't take public dogs. This is a public dog. I'm out 100%. even though I do love the Titans in this spot, I can't get behind it because of that reason.
Absolutely. What you got on this one, Brennan?
I didn't take anything here either. I mean, if I'm kind of the opposite of Troy, I'd lean Falcons here. I love their defense. I love the way they're looking. I mean, Desmond Ritter didn't have a bad week last week against the Bucks. He was averaging 9.4 yards per play. I mean, and Titans, all they can do is run the ball really, and Falcons have a great run defense. If I were going to lean anything in this game, I'd take the under. Because I mean, the Falcons on the road have scored 6 points, 7 points, and 16 points. It's pretty bad. Titans pretty damn good at home. I mean, I would definitely lean the under in this game, but it's just also just so low at 36.5 is what I had it taking my notes earlier. I mean, that's just
35.5 now.
35.5 now. I mean, that's such a
People
all that
it,
is taking that under is one pick six or fumble and like inside your own 20-yard line from busting that over. So I wouldn't take that. But if I were to take that one, I would try to take the under, but it just moved way too low for me.
Absolutely. But yeah, so it was Tennessee +2. So but basically it has moved to +3 throughout this today. So it is sitting at +3 now, and this is going to be my lock of the week, Tennessee +3. The reason being is Desmond Ritter. I'm a big Falcons guy, as y'all know. As I said on the show a million times, yes, I am a Falcons fan, and yes, I can bet without emotion. So I honestly think that my Falcons aren't going to get it done this week. to be honest with you, if they do, it's going to be by a field goal, just like they did last week. You know what I mean? Koo's going to go on the field and kick a field goal. This will be a push. I'll be happy. I'll get my money back. But the Falcons. Go ahead.
This is at 3, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm looking at it now.
It moved to 3.
I was like,
that's why it went from one of my weekly picks to my lock of the week as soon as it went to 3. That 3 number with the Falcons on the road. Desmond Ritter, we know what he does on the road. Not a fan of Desmond Ritter. Falcons fan again. Not a fan of Desmond Ritter. Steelers.
As he's wearing a Steelers jersey.
Yeah, I was about to say Steelers and Falcons, of course. Had to rep the Steelers because, we got that big dub last week.
I have one question before we move on.
What's up?
Is Bijan's tummy gonna be all right this week,
bro? All right, dude. He had diarrhea. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But that was ridiculous. I mean, but also you gotta give the man a break, bro. Like, think about it. You go on the sideline, you got a migraine, and you're about to go play an NFL football game. You know what I mean? Like, if I had a migraine,
my question is.
Like, I cannot.
How are the fantasy owners feeling about that? Do they get a pass on that?
I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all over Tennessee. Love the Falcons. It's a win-win. If I lose this bet, it feels like I paid for the Falcons to get a win, which I'm okay with. But also, I just don't think we're gonna be in a good spot here at the Titans. Also, you got to realize Arthur Smith came from Mike Vrabel. So Mike Vrabel knows everything about him. He basically built this guy. So I mean, usually when that happens and people play mentors and they're on the road coming back, like that's just a tough spot. And I love the Titans in the spot for Vrabel just to know exactly what he's about to do.
Dude, Christian, did you? This is way off topic, but did you know that Arthur Smith is like the son of the FedEx founder?
Yeah, his dad owns FedEx.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. How crazy is that?
Little nugget.
This man could not be working, but instead he's like, I'm gonna have one of the most stressful jobs in the world.
Yep.
Insane.
That's pretty damn cool.
But he also, I love how he just coaches because like I feel like he knows he's got that, so he just coaches like he doesn't give a shit, and he's actually a pretty damn good coach.
Yeah, he's not bad.
But let's go ahead and hop to this next game. We got Minnesota at Green Bay. We got Minnesota -1.5 with an over/under 42.5. I'm gonna go ahead and let you take the reins on this one, Troy, and then I'll come in. I think I got a pick on this one.
You got to 1.5.
It's at 1, and it was at 1.5, and then it became a pick 'em yesterday. This is opening line from yesterday, but I'm gonna change them. I'm just gonna have the opening line up there for you.
I had seen that this actually opened up at Packers -1.5.
Yeah, this is yesterday's spread. Yeah. This is last night's spread. So this is basically a 24-hour, and then I'll change it to current. So yes, now it is Minnesota.
Yeah,
money
line. I mean, just with that, Kirk Cousins, man. I mean, he looks legit. Like people always like to hate on him, but I mean, he went in last week, Monday night. People say don't bet on Kirk Cousins in prime time. They've been saying
against
it.
the 49ers.
Buddy went in there and just got it done without JJ. JJ's not playing.
And Troy, we did have a play on this game. We had a Twitter play, and he ripped the money right from our hands. I mean, he's a beast.
It was super impressive. I would ride that wave this week and lean the Vikings. I just don't like betting against teams that go to Lambeau, so especially off of a Green Bay loss. I know Aaron Rodgers isn't playing there anymore, but that's just kind of my thing. But I would definitely lean the Vikings after Kirk Cousins got it done last week. And I will say one more thing, and I'll be done. Kirk Cousins in primetime was a thing when he was with the Commanders. It's not been a thing with the Vikings. Like you go back and look it up yourself. It's not been a thing. So like, let's get that narrative out of here. He's playing MVP level right now if his defense can play. Like, go look at his stats. Go look at what he does day in and day out. Like, love the way he's playing right now. But sorry, go ahead, Brennan.
Yeah, man. Well, talk about another narrative. Let's get out of here. Is Green Bay at home? Who gives a shit? Aaron Rodgers ain't there anymore. This ain't the same Green Bay Packers we've seen the last.
That is true.
How many? 14 years. I don't give a hell where they're playing, man. Kirko Chainz, my guy. I don't know if that nickname's a thing, but I'm calling him Kirko Chainz.
100%.
I mean, give me the Vikings. I mean, they've proven. I mean, guys, we watched them a year ago. We watched this team ball out week in, week out. Listen, they have 4 losses this year. 3 of them coming from the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Chargers. Okay, yeah, game 1 they lost to the Bucks, but who cares? I mean, 3 of their last 4 games, I mean, they've won.
They play a tough schedule.
They've had the worst schedule, and all 4 of their losses are by 1 score.
Well, that's what happens when you win a division. You play
exactly. And I didn't even know that until you explained that to me this year. But I mean, 4 of their losses, all 4 of their losses, 1 score. I mean, this is a good team. Packers are not a good team, I don't think, with Jordan Love at the helm. Not great to me. I feel like this is just a gimme. This is one of those gimme picks. If I had a choice of a lock of a week, this would be it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the freaking Vikings and Kirko Chainz. Pick them now. Had them at -1.5, but give me the pick them.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'll take them.
Yeah, so this is going to be definitely kind of. I'm going to kind of elaborate on what Brennan said. This is definitely going to be one of my picks of the week. The way Kirk Cousins is playing right now, he's playing out of his mind. I think that they started off rough. This is going to be one where Kirk has to kind of hop back into the driver's seat, take this team, get some wins in a row. This is a divisional game. If they're going to compete for the playoffs with how many losses they have had in the beginning of the season, they're probably going to be playing for a wild card spot. So those division wins or winning that division is so much more important now because they have all those losses. So they got to get these wins racked up. Love Minnesota in this spot. Like I said, like Brennan said, I mean, this is free money. I just see it that way as well. I mean, this is too easy not to take. I know it's Lambeau, but like Brennan said, this isn't Aaron Rodgers in here anymore. This is Jordan Love. This is a young quarterback. But yeah, that's gonna be one of my picks of the week. Minnesota money line. Give it to me all day. Next game, let's go ahead and hop into it. We got Houston at Carolina. We got Carolina +3 with an over/under of 43. I'll kind of say my 2 cents on this one. This is a weird spot. Carolina coming off a bye, at home
Both
dogs.
teams coming off a bye.
Yeah, home dogs. I mean, this is kind of a weird spot. I don't like the Texans coming into Carolina and getting it done. So if I was to lean anyway, it might be Carolina +3. I think they got to get their first win. I think this is the only team that they have a chance of beating. So I mean, this could be one of their only wins of the year. I don't really know who else they could beat on their schedule, and they got to get a couple wins. I feel like so. I definitely like Carolina in this spot, maybe at +3, but that's the only way I could look at it.
Yeah.
But I know you love the Texans, Troy. I know you love them Texans.
I've been trying to find the way to bet the Panthers this year, and I just can't find anything that like remotely wants me to lean that way at all. So I mean, I would definitely lean the Texans here, but I'm not taking that chance because, like you said, Christian, this is one of their only chances to win a game. So
Right.
they're going to come out firing, but I don't trust it. So I would lean the 3 with the Texans, but just not enough for me to make it a play.
Absolutely. What you got on this one,
Yeah,
Brennan?
I mean, me myself, man, I was just too emotionally attached to this one. I'll go ahead and set my allegiance right now.
Yeah, audience.
Going to the college football
He's an
show.
Alabama
I
fan.
am a Roll Tide Alabama fan.
Ugh.
So I want to see my boy Bryce Young win every week. But I mean, if I were to lean anyway, a lot of people were leaning those Panthers +3. Man, both teams are coming off a bye. Little nugget here: Frank Wright, 5-0 against the spread as a head coach coming off a bye. Just to let you know.
Yeah,
But
he also
I
was
mean,
0-6, but
He's also got a dog shit football team.
exactly. They suck, so that's why I'm not taking this. I mean, those Texans, man. C.J. Stroud looks incredible.
so good.
They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, whatever they got to
He's
do.
a guy.
Man. I mean, that offense is good. C.J. Stroud is good. I love Bryce Young. I just don't think at the moment he has the weapons around him to support him.
No help.
Which they'll get that way. Obviously, they're about to have some more top draft picks coming in after losing, maybe winning 1 or 2 games this year. But yeah, staying away from this one personally because I'm just too emotionally attached. But if I had to lean, I'm taking Panthers +3 at home, baby.
Yeah. Bryce Young might be god awful. We don't even know. All right, up in this next one, a game that I'm absolutely not going to touch for so many fucking reasons. Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. I'll kind of say my 2 cents about this one, dude. I have lost so much money on the Jacksonville, or because of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It is ridiculous. Have I been betting on them? No, I've been betting against them. And I've lost 2 bets against the Jaguars back-to-back weeks. The week before that, my lock of the week was Calvin Ridley over 5.5 receptions. He caught a touchdown pass in London. They never threw it to him again against the Falcons, his old team. So I don't think I'll touch another Jaguars game this year, to be honest with you. They've taken so much of my money, and kind of like what Brennan said on the last one, I'm a little too emotionally attached to this one. It's the Steelers against a really good football team, so Steelers +2.5. I believe it's moved to 3, if that is correct.
Still 2.5.
It went okay. I think it moved to 3 and went back to 2.5, honestly. But so I did see it at 3 earlier. But yeah, if I was leaning anyway, beat Pittsburgh. But I just can't bet against the Jacksonville Jaguars again. They've taken so much of my money. I'm staying away from this one. What you got on this one?
Yeah,
Sean?
this is one of those rah Mike Tomlin spots here. Underdog at the house, you always take Mike Tomlin, but I just can't see that Jaguars team losing the game.
Yeah,
it's just
so good.
so. I mean, it's a good team, right? So
Bro, ETN's playing out of his mind.
and that's why I'm just gonna have to pass on this one because I'm not betting against Mike Tomlin at home.
Yeah.
Like as an underdog, at least I'm not
Exactly.
doing it. So
What you got on this one, Brennan?
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at the stats and records, against the spread, I mean, these teams are dead even, man. Like, I mean, first of all, I just want to say I haven't watched NFL to the T this year, but if you would have came up and told me this week that the Steelers were 4-2, I would have said you're lying. Just because, thinking Kenny Pickett's awful.
Defense
Easy.
Everybody
comes on this show, man.
Hey,
Everyone comes on this show
Kenny
and
Pickett
shits on
click,
Kenny
all right?
Pickett. I'm tired
No, man,
of it.
they beat some good
tired
teams,
of
man.
it.
And looking at their schedule, I mean, they've beat some good teams. They beat the Ravens.
He's a gamer,
They beat
man.
Cleveland. They beat some good teams, but man, I mean, these teams, they're against the spread records match their actual record. Jacksonville 5-2 overall against the spread, 5-2. Pittsburgh 4-2 against the spread, 4-2. It's like this is the most even game. I think Jacksonville's a better team, but Steelers at home. I mean,
as an underdog,
yeah, as an underdog, it's like you said, Troy. I mean, that's the game that I'm going to stay as far from as possible. I think what I have written down here is whoever wins the turnover battle wins this game. You can't ever predict that, so I like whoever wins the turnover battle wins.
That's a great point.
So I think I'm going to lean Steelers here. Actually, I'm going against what I originally felt. I'm going to lean Steelers at home. Getting a pick or two off of Trevor Lawrence, maybe a sack and a fumble to change the game. TJ Watt,
pick six, baby.
might go down as the best edge rusher of all time.
Yeah, he's pretty nasty.
Saying.
His brother was pretty good too, though. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I mean, JJ is a piece. Damn,
But,
TJ's been leading the league in sacks every year for the last few years.
Yeah, but that year that JJ had when he was catching touchdowns and he was just a different. But let's get into this next game because I know Troy's got something on this one, something cooking up, and I smell it. It's at Indianapolis.
Oh, smell it.
Indianapolis -1.5 with an over/under 43.5. This is a terrifying game. You know, as y'all know, I had the Saints last week against the Jags. I'm kind of just going back on my losses and telling y'all how sad I am about some of these. But had the Saints against the Jags, had the Colts against the Jags, lost both of those back-to-back weeks. So this is once again a huge stay away spot for me until I'm feeling a little bit better about losing those units. But you know, we're transparent here. But yeah, so this is a stay away spot for me. I think this has moved a little bit. I know that this one's at 1.5. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, these lines are from last night. So this is kind of like a 24-hour line from the previous day. So these lines may move, and y'all will see me change them on the show. But I just kind of have them, and it also kind of shows us the movement of them in a 24-hour period. But the over/under of 43.5 too. That's kind of the only way that I would look at this game. I wouldn't want to play any sides, kind of as I mentioned before. So yeah, if I was to look anyway, honestly, it might be to this under. I just think these two. I think the Colts defense is a lot better than what they looked like last week. And then the Saints, same thing. They're a lot better defense than they looked last week. I think it's a defensive bounce back spot for both teams. So the only way I could look at this one would probably be an under. But what you got on this one, Brennan?
Shoot, man, I went back and forth on this game a lot. I felt one way at first, felt the other way at second, and decided to just stay away from it truthfully. I think it's going to be an ugly game, like you had mentioned, man. I don't like this game at all. Both of these teams have shown signs of good and signs of real bad. But to be honest, if I had to lean one way, I'd have to take the Colts at home. The Saints, they have 3 wins. The combined record of the 3 teams they beat, 4-14. The combined record of the 3 teams that the Colts have beat, 10-9. Colts are averaging 26 points a game, 28 points per game at home. I just don't think the Saints could keep up with that kind of offense. I know they have a great defense, but I like Colts scoring some points here. I think Minshew's kind of settling in there. I think Minshew Magic might be back. Who knows? They lost they lost the Browns just this past week.
Yeah, they shouldn't have lost.
And guess what? They had 4 turnovers.
Yeah,
4 turnovers, and they lost by a point.
Yeah,
I mean,
the way they lost was so bad too.
Yeah, if they didn't have 4 turnovers, who knows? They might have scored 50 something.
Right.
So, I mean, if I had to lean one way, I'm taking the Colts -1.5. But plus, I stayed away from this one.
Yeah, -1.5.
Yeah, to note off what Brennan said, the record of the teams the Saints have beat is going to go to 7-18 because I'm taking the Saints plus 1.5 as my lock of the week. Listen, it comes down to one, well, maybe 2 things here. The Saints' defense is legit. Dennis Allen, like I've said before, he might not be a good head coach, but he knows how to call a defense. Their defense is top 5 in the league. And this is not Minshew mania anymore. He's a backup quarterback. That's what he is. And he has no chance against this defense. He's really good when it's man coverage. The Saints play a really good zone coverage. He's not good at throwing in zone coverage. Just there's no chance he has a shot against this Saints team. And look for this line. It's at 1.5 right now. I could really see this thing getting to Saints as a favorite. This is going to be one of your pros versus Joe's game here. A lot of the public's going to be on the call. I'm just saying that's what it's going to be. So, yeah, give me the Saints plus 1.5 as the lock of the week.
Right.
And let's just look at this real quick.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm 16-12 as an overall. If you don't like that, look at the lock of the week number. We're 6-1. And every week I come on here and I have people telling me they hate my lock of the week, and we get blowout winners. Last week, Eagles -2, blowout winner. Bills -2.5 against the Dolphins, blowout winner. I had people just hating on that. Love the Dolphins, whatever. Yeah, give me the Saints plus 1.5.
Hey, I was one of them. I was one of them.
Definitely.
No, I'll tell you, fellas. I mean, listen, Troy's 6-1 for a reason. I'm a guest picker. Like Severin said, this is the stuff I found, but this guy knows what he's doing. I'd take his lock of the week if I were you.
Alrighty, I like it. But let's go ahead and hop into this next one. We got the LA Rams going to Dallas. Dallas minus 6.5 with the over/under of 45. Yeah, I'll kind of say my 2 cents on this one. If I was to lean anyway, it'd probably be Dallas minus 6.5. I think this line has moved though. I think it's gone all the way to Dallas minus 7, I believe.
Yeah.
So we do have Dallas minus 7 now. At that number, I saw a little bit of value in minus 6.5, not much, because I also think the Rams are a lot better team than everyone kind of gives them credit for. I just think that they're a lot better team than a lot of these losses that they have. Last week they could have won that game. So yeah, they've had some rough losses this year, but I still think they're a good football team. People are undervaluing them right now. Plus 7's a lot of points. So yeah, but I'm just gonna stay away from this one. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, I do. I have the Rams plus 7 as one of my weekly bets. Listen, the Rams aren't 7 points worse than this Dallas team. That's a crazy stat. And like I've said before, I'm always going to take the Rams as an underdog like this. Matthew Stafford and the boys offensively are going to keep up with the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott always plays down to his competition. So I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to lose this game, but 7 points is a lot when you have, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Puka now. The dude's a beast. I like that defense. They're young. They're fast. I really do enjoy watching them play. So give me the Rams plus 7. I don't see them winning the game, but 7 points is a lot.
Absolutely. You got anything on this one, Brennan?
No, I didn't take a bet here, but I was leaning very heavy towards the Rams plus 6.5. The only reason I didn't is because the Cowboys at home can be something special here and there. But no, like Troy said, that's just a lot of points for the Rams. The Rams have been playing good football, man. I mean, Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp.
It has moved to plus 7. If you like plus 7 more.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did have. Yeah, I'd actually. You know what? Give me plus 7. Throw on an extra bet. I'll take 4 the lead as a guest picker 4-0.
I was about to say, if he didn't like 6.5, he's gonna love 7.
Yeah. I can see this. Give me 7, man.
Just to give you all a quick, this will definitely go back down to 6.5 because people are going to jump on the 7 number.
Yep. So, to me, man, yeah, Cowboys. They're missing Van Der Esch at linebacker. They're missing Diggs, and I know they still have Michael Parsons. They still have a quality defense, but once these guys on the Rams gel, man, you got Puka Nacua on one side and Cooper Kupp on the other. That's lethal right there. And Matt Stafford throwing the ball to him. If those guys are open, he's hitting them. 6.5 or 7 points is a lot.
Yeah,
I'll definitely
I will
least
say,
take the Rams to lose. But
I will say though, the Cowboys are coming off a bye at home. That's the only scary thing about this bet to me is Cowboys coming off a bye at home. That's the only reason I'm kind of staying off of it.
Yeah.
I don't see that being a bit like I think coming off a bye, it doesn't matter. That shit doesn't matter.
Yeah, for sure.
The Rams have played better on the road this season than they have at home.
That is very.
They're a road team. They're a road team.
Well, they play on the road every week because they don't have home field advantage in LA.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'll tell you, what better stadium to play better at than freaking AT&T Stadium in Dallas?
That is true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's hop into this next game. Let's take a trip to New York. We got the New York Jets at the New York Giants.
Hey.
You want to go ahead and give your 2 cents on this one, Troy?
Brennan, you can go ahead if you want.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man, I was going through all these games today. These fellas gave me short notice. I thought I was gonna be week 9 picks. Got the call yesterday. Hey, you're week 8 picks. So I had to wake up, get rolling this morning, and I'll tell you, I was trying to find ways to save time, and this was a game I saved a lot of time on. I looked at it and I said, this game is stupid. I don't care about this game at all. Neither of these teams matter whatsoever. Wish Aaron Rodgers was not hurt, man. But I literally looked at this game, threw up a little bit, and said, thank goodness I can save a little time. So with that being said, obviously I don't have a pick. Troy, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, coming into this game, Giants +3 was going to be my lock of the week. I love that number still, but Christian talked me off out of it. I mean, Zach Wilson's really a 3-point favorite here. I mean, I don't think so. Tyrod Taylor is somebody who does not turn the ball over a lot in his history of playing in the NFL. The Jets, they win games by getting a lot of turnovers. That's how they've won the games they've won. I don't see Tyrod really doing that. If he can keep the ball and methodically drive down the field like he's been doing like his entire career and keep this a one-score game, I don't know how the Jets win this by more than 3.
Oh man, let me just hop into this one real quick. First of all, the Jets are not playing for nothing. Rodgers is coming back this year. All they got to do is squeak into the playoffs. Rodgers is going to be there. Rodgers will be there first game. He'll throw for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the Jets are going to win Super Bowl. Okay, y'all see the futures.
Go
Y'all see the futures. Y'all see the futures.
Yeah, go ahead and click that.
But no. But see, on a serious note, kind of what Troy said. Kind of what Troy's doing right now. We're talking about Tyrod Taylor, guys. Kind of what Troy said on his other bets with the Saints.
Is he not better than Daniel Jones?
No.
No, he's not.
He's his backup.
Obviously, but
if he was better, he'd play.
The Daniel Jones. When you're watching this season, has this Giants team not been gelled better together with Tyrod than they have with Daniel? Daniel Jones turns the ball over way too much. Is all I'm saying.
It would have been I feel like the focus had been that
Daniel Jones.
That offensive line was off.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is getting hammered.
Daniel Jones is not good. Don't try to.
I don't think
he's
he's
act like he's good.
I don't think he's that bad. I think everyone has sold their stock on Daniel Jones so fast.
I would take Daniel Jones over Deshaun Watson right now. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I would take Daniel Jones over Deshaun Watson as well. If you put Daniel Jones on Cleveland, are you kidding me? With a running back,
I don't think he does anything different.
I say a running back that can stay healthy.
Go ahead. What you got?
Anyway,
I know you got something here. Tell me what you got.
Stay on track. I'm gonna stay on track here, but yeah, I mean Tyrod Taylor. People are saying, "Oh, this is a Jets away game." It's not a Jets away game. It's in the same fucking stadium that they play every home game at. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. There's gonna be probably more Jets fans than Giants fans because. Honestly, the Jets are, I feel like, a way bigger community because they were kind of hyped up on the Aaron Rodgers stuff, and they still are. I think every Jets fan still believes Aaron Rodgers is coming back at the end of the season, which I'm also going to believe in because it's awesome to think about. But, yeah, I mean, we've been betting Jets. We had the Jets against Denver. Everyone called us crazy. They fucking beat them by, I think, 10 it was. So, I mean... The Jets are not a bad football team. Zach Wilson is growing into his own. I mean, the Jets are a top 3, top 5 defense. If they're not top 3, they're top 5. I mean, Tyrod Taylor doesn't turn the ball over, you say, but he's turned the ball over today or this weekend because guess what? He's playing the Jets, and they got dogs. So, I mean, give me the Jets all day in this defense. I mean, they've been winning low-score games. The Giants have been winning low-score games. And if this is going to be a low-score game, give me the Jets. I mean, this is Jets all the way. But, yeah, so that's going to be one of my picks here this week. Jets -3. Give me Zach Wilson. Give me this defense. These guys are dogs. Love the Jets in this spot. But, yeah, let's go ahead and hop into this next one here. We got Philly at Washington with Washington +6.5 with an over-under of 43.5. I'll kind of say my 2 cents on this one. Only way I could look here is I think a lot of people are playing Washington at +6.5 because Washington always plays the Eagles close. But honestly, I think after that win last week against Miami, Philly's going to kind of get back on track. They had that tough loss. I think they get back on track this game as well, and they just keep going, continue what they had going last week. If they can beat the Dolphins that bad, they can beat this god-awful team. I mean, the Commanders do one thing. They let their quarterback get sacked, and what do the Eagles love to do? They love to rush the quarterback. So, I mean, if I was playing this one, it would definitely be Philly -6.5. That might be a game day play. But you got anything on this one, Troy?
I disagree. I think if that number got to 7.5, I'd probably lean the Commanders here. One thing
Yeah,
the
for
Eagles have
sure.
done this year is play down to their competition. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we've seen it every single week. And then when they play a good team, they just out physical them and just that's just what they do. I mean, that last drive that they had against the Dolphins, where they just were on their own 39 tush push. They did it what 3 or 4. They just I just love their brand of football. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to just pass on this. But God, it's hard not to take that 7.5 with the Commanders if he got to that point. At
Right.
6.5, there's no value for me though. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. You got anything on this
No,
one, Brennan?
I mean, I don't have anything on this one because I mean I learned that this is definitely a look ahead game. I mean, even though this is an in conference game, this is a look ahead game spot for the Eagles guys. Listen to they have the next 5 games: Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, Cowboys. Do you
wow.
think they're looking at the Commanders right now, thinking anything of this game? They cut it close last time. Obviously, they obviously, like you said, Troy, they've been playing down to their competition all year. If I were going to lean anywhere, I would take the under in this game. Jalen Hurts is still a little banged up. They're not trying to run their full playbook in this game. They're going to try to run this team to death, even though the Commanders do have a great run defense. But Fedarian Mathis, Bama boy, he's out this week. That's going to cut down their defensive line a little bit. I think they try to run this game to death, try to keep Jalen Hurts out of as many situations as possible. If I'm not wrong, they have a bye coming up soon. So I think they just try to squeeze by this game, keep it, I mean, as low versatility as possible. Just try to keep it simple, try to win this game by whatever they can win it by. I think this goes, and there's no way. By the way, Commanders. I mean, last few games have not been great. They just scored 7 points against the Giants. Wow.
Hmm.
Haven't been playing great football, but yeah, like I said, I would lean the under here. If anything, I think it could be a 23-17 game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that a lot of the under. I think the under is definitely a good spot as well.
Yeah.
Let's hop into this next one. We got New England at Miami. We got Miami minus 9.5 with an over under of 47. Quick 2 cents on this one. Just, I mean, that's a big number. We saw what New England did with a big number last week. I had Bills minus 8.5. Obviously, we know what happened. Mac Jones decided to turn into Tom Brady and just methodically drive down the field every drive and score. Never seen him do that. I'm a big no Mac Jones guy. I know we got a Bama guy in here, but Mac Jones I still think does suck. I still think he's an awful quarterback. And for that reason, if I had to lean anyway, it'd honestly probably be the Dolphins minus 9.5. But you got anything on this one, Brennan?
I mean, to the Mac Jones comment, I'll even tell you I think he should have been benched so far this year. But I just think, man, they got to figure out offensive coordinator wise, like what they want to do as an offense. I think the locker room's broken. I think they're not sold on them.
Maybe
Struggling there,
draft
but I
some
mean,
skill positions.
yeah, I mean, yeah, and get some receivers around him, man. I mean, the guy. I mean, you saw what he did in college. This ain't no fluke that the buddy could just put a dime in between two defenders 50 yards down the field every time. Like I was convinced he was better than Tua and Jalen and Bright. It's like after the year he had in 2020, I was like, holy hell. But I mean, besides that, give me Miami all day here. I mean, fluke game last week. I don't think the Steelers or sorry, the Patriots are any good here. But I will say I took a little difference because it is a divisional matchup. I'm taking the first half Miami -6. I think Miami's going to jump on them. I think there could be a late cover by the Patriots. Maybe they gained a little confidence last week. But hey, my boy Tua is undefeated against the Pats. By the way, the Pats or the Miami is 5-1 in the last 6 games, and guess what game is the one game they lost since Tua's been in the NFL? He was out on injury. He didn't play. That was the one game they lost. I think Miami just beat up Patriots defense. I think Miami just runs all over these fellas. But I'm going to take the
Mhm.
safe route. Give me Miami first half -6.
I like it.
Yeah, Brennan, I agree with you 100%. The Dolphins are going to be one of my plays -9. That spread is now at 9. Christian.
Gotcha.
Anyways, Yeah, I'm riding with the public this week. I'm riding the chalk, and I'm taking Miami. I've been against them all year in a couple of spots, and it's about time I take them to cover one of these games. So, listen, the Patriots, like Brennan said, I think it was a fluke game last week. No freaking way they keep up with this offense. The Dolphins, after getting just annihilated last week, are going to come out and probably score in the 30s. I don't see the Patriots scoring that many points or getting close to a 10 number. So, yeah, man. I mean, it Miami -9. I hate taking this, but I think I have to. So we're gonna ride with it.
Absolutely,
Come on,
absolutely. Honestly, don't hate it.
Hey, by the way, back-to-back weeks that we've had little Bama versus Bama matchup for Miami.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Back-to-back weeks. Hey,
Too bad
that
Mac
tells
Jones
them.
sucks.
Hey, recruits out there, if you ever listen to this, just look. You know, I mean, come on, Bama guys everywhere.
These
Go to
Bama
Bama.
guys. Look what Philly's doing. That's all I got to say.
They're just drafting everybody, Georgia. And
The
who they
defense-
have at helm?
Yeah, it's true. I
Don't
shouldn't
you
have
say
said that.
Oklahoma guy? He's a Bama guy.
hey. And guess who they beat? Two Bama guys at quarterback.
Huh. Yeah, whatever, dude.
No response. No response from the Bama guy.
All
right, let's hop into this next game before we start talking college football. We got Cleveland at Seattle. We got Seattle -3 with an over-under of 39.5. Yeah, you got anything on this one, Troy? You want to give your quick 2 cents on this one? I got to play on this one. I'll
So
save
we
for
got
the end.
news today. PJ Walker starting. I loved Seattle, even if Deshaun was starting. PJ starting, makes it even better. I think the spread's probably going to go up at some point, but yeah, I would lean the Seahawks here. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those games. The defense for the Browns is just scares me a little bit, which is why I'm staying away, and it's not one of my picks. We definitely lean Seahawks.
Absolutely. You got anything on this one, Brennan?
Yeah, no, I 1000% agree with Troy. I would lean Seahawks here. Don't have a pick, but I literally have written down never know when the Browns defense is going to show up. I mean, they have the guys to be top 3 defense in the league every freaking year. And they just have these games. Maybe it's their offense's fault for being so trash at the same time, but I mean,
Definitely
yeah, and Deshaun Watson, man, like I mentioned earlier, don't like him. I mean, I was so high on him before. I don't know if it's a shoulder injury he's going through that's making him worse. I used to, like, when he was at the Texans, man, I was like, this guy's top quarterback in the NFL. But I don't know if it's what he went through, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, PJ Walker, gotta love him. But Seahawks at home, man, that's a tough environment to go into. And, I mean, you're never going to bet against them at home against a backup quarterback. So I'm staying away from this one just because that Browns defense could show up and shut the Seahawks out. Who knows? So staying away from that one, fellas.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is gonna be one of my picks of the week. Seattle -3. Kind of just elaborating on what they already said. Browns are coming into Seattle. Super tough environment. They skated by with a win last week. Honestly, I think the Colts should have beat them. So honestly, I think this is kind of a down spot for them. They got PJ Walker. Once again, we bet against backup quarterbacks not with them. But yeah, so we're gonna take Seahawks -3. I think that this offense is a super undervalued offense. I could also look at like the over spot maybe, because I think that there will be a good amount of points scored in this game. Kind of like last week, we saw what happened in the Browns-Colts. I mean, they scored like almost 80 points. So yeah, I could see the over as well. Seahawks like to score. Seems like the Browns defense is getting a little bit softer as we get throughout the year. They started off real hot. They were a top 5 defense. Now they're starting to kind of get back to what they do every single year. Kind of like Brennan said, they start off, they're great, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, they're kind of not showing up. All right, they're terrible. Okay, they've lost 6 in a row. So I mean, yeah, I honestly think this is one of those spots where they lose this game. They skated by on a win last week that they shouldn't have had. But yeah, so give me Seahawks -3. We bet against PJ Walker. But yeah, next game we got here is going to be Baltimore at Arizona. Real quick on this game, only way I could look here would probably be Baltimore minus 8.5. This is kind of, I think, the book's overvaluing the Cardinals still. They're trying to hang into games, and seems like as they get throughout the year and more injuries happen, they're already into their second units. So if I was to look anywhere, it'd probably be Baltimore minus 8.5. Because I think the way that the Ravens played last week, I think they kind of found something on offense, and they got something clicking. So I think if they can continue what they did last week into this week against a much worse defense in the Cardinals, then they can do the same thing that they did to the Lions. But yeah, what do you got? Anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, I'll make this really brief. I really hate this spot. I would lean the Ravens minus 8.5, but I don't like taking teams favored by that many points on the road. So, especially after beating the Lions that bad last week,
Very true.
definitely a regression spot here. I'm staying away.
You got anything on this one, Brennan?
Yeah, no. Go ahead and give me. I'm going with another first half bet here. Give me Ravens minus 4.5 first
Love that.
half.
Love that.
Reason why? Hey, if you had to guess, in 17 games, Lamar Jackson has played an NFC team. In 17 games, what would you guess his record would be?
He's 17-0.
Close. 16-1.
Mm.
So I mean, people. I will say, Ravens have been playing, or sorry, the Cardinals have been playing some admirable football, man. They're 4-3, or here we go, 3-3 against the spread. Take it. But no, I mean, I think the Ravens come out. If the Cardinals were to cover, I'd give them a late bullcrap touchdown at the end of the game. They covered the plus 8.5, but I think the Ravens come out, just put it on them in that first half, man. Go up by 2 touchdowns, maybe 3 scores, and then they kind of just we're ready for next week. Maybe the Cardinals score some bullshit touchdowns at the end of the game, but give me Ravens to dominate them in the first half a little bit, two scores at least. I love that bet. I love the Ravens. I think they're a great team, man. Just all around, one of the best defenses in the league. They just control the game. Period. I mean, they've always controlled
Unless they're
the game.
playing Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Hey, in division rival, man, that's tough. But yeah, I mean, majority of the games they play,
We
they
own
control
that
the
ass.
game. Yeah, I like that spot there. I love these first half bets, man. I don't know why I haven't gotten on them before, but man, I'm feeling them. I'm feeling them this weekend. I think they easily cover that.
Some good spots for
half.
first half bets this week for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of the devil, we got Kansas City at Denver, plus 7.5. The over under 46.5. Kind of what Brennan was just saying. The only way I could look on this spot would maybe be like a first half Kansas City if you like it. I don't like the full game. Denver's it's a divisional game on the road, a big number. So, and we know Mahomes doesn't like to cover. So I mean, I don't think that Denver's going to cover necessarily. I think that Mahomes found something last week, but it's just I'm so back and forth on it. Because once again, it's on the road. It's Mahomes, divisional game, but it's just a weird spot. I'm just so back and forth on it. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away from it. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, Denver plus 7.5 would have been a play for me this week, but if you look in below my picks, that lock of the week screen, the one loss was the Broncos.
What week was that again?
And they lost to the Dolphins.
That was against Miami, 70-20.
70 to something, yeah. So we put them on the no bet list, and we're going to keep them there. So for that reason, I would not. That's not going to be a play for me. It was going to be, but I mean, just can't do it. So, anyways, Brennan, what you got?
I mean, fellas, I'm looking at it right now. Kansas City is 5-2 against the spread this year, already covering the spread in the first game against Denver. Ugly game, 19-8 win. They were 10.5 points favorites, and they covered by 11. I think I didn't have a bet on this one, but I'm about to make it 5 bets. I'm winging this one at this point. I'll tell you this, but I mean, I'm taking the Chiefs to cover, boys. I think they're going to continuously play better as the season goes. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, boys. Defense is actually pretty stout.
Taylor Swift's going to be there. Yeah.
And and Taylor Swift's going to be
That
there.
team's playing for
Hey,
Swifties.
parlay Chiefs to cover with a Travis Kelce touchdown. No, I'm just kidding.
Have y'all actually seen the stats like with Taylor and without Taylor on that?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I wonder. Give me a fifth bet,
just
boys.
makes
I'll
you
go
think,
5 of those.
It makes you think like you really think the NFL is like, hey, get this guy the ball. We got Taylor Swift watching. But
no, I mean no. That's a whole Pfizer and all that shit. You know,
that's what
we
I'm
don't
saying.
need to get into that.
He's pulling a lot of strings.
It's all freaking there's a lot of shit going on.
But
hey, we're talking football.
Yeah. But let's hop into
banned off YouTube.
Yeah, for real. Let's
we'll
hop
bleep
into this.
it out.
Yeah, let's hop into this next game. No, we won't. Cincinnati at San Francisco. San Francisco minus 5.5. Once again, this is a 24-hour opening spread. So this is what it was 24 hours ago. So now that it has been released, I believe that it is now at San Francisco minus 3.5 because it was reported that Brock Purdy is now in concussion protocol. So for that reason, only way I could look right here is give me the Bengals plus 3.5. That this might be a game day play for me. They're coming off a bye. If any team needed a bye week more, it was the Bengals. You know what I mean? They needed that bye week to get healthy, get their star guys healthy, and this is where they go, all right, we don't lose a game for the rest of the season, and we go and shit on teams. And honestly, I could see them doing that to the 49ers this week with no Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's a very undervalued quarterback. He's a huge part of that offense, and people don't want to admit it. But he is a huge part of that offense, and I think they're really going to miss him this week. And, yeah, so game time play, probably going to be Bengals plus 3.5. And last thing, let's also remember what happened to the 49ers when Brock Purdy got hurt in the playoffs last year. But, yeah, you got anything on this one, Brennan?
I was going to ask I have no idea. Who is starting for the 49ers at QB?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Man, this guy, hey, keep that in mind for you immaculate grid players out there. I mean, buddy's been everywhere.
Man.
I mean, think about the teams he's played for. But, no, I mean, I'm going to stay away from this one. Brock Purdy's out. I mean, I'll tell you, if Brock Purdy wasn't out, I'm taking the 49ers all day because, dude, I get it. Bengals are the Bengals, but, man, they've been awful this year. Even the games they've won. I mean, they beat Arizona. Yeah, they beat the Rams by 3, and they beat Seattle by 4 last week at home. I mean, just not been playing good football, not been the same Bengals we've seen the last few years. I think the 49ers should even win with Sam Darnold in this game, but I'm going to stay as far away from this game as possible with Brock Purdy being out.
Absolutely.
Never know.
What you got, Troy?
Yeah, Bengals plus 3.5 is going to be my last play. I'm so upset about this because I text Christian this morning and was texting my plays for the week. I had Bengals plus 6. I kid you not, 30 minutes later, Brock Purdy news breaks. Spread goes to 3.5. So I can't put that on here. So it's going to be Cincinnati plus 3.5 for the pod. I took it at 6. I'm going to take it again now at 3.5. But, I mean, before the Brock Purdy news, I mean, I like it even better now with him being out because Sam Darnold, I don't trust him at all. We've seen what he's done in Carolina and with the Jets and now here with the 49ers. I don't like him against Joey. I mean, let's really look at it. It's Joey B versus him. I like Joey B. This is a must-win spot here with the Bengals. I mean, you don't want to go 3-4. With that tough schedule they have. They got to come out and play good. I like Christian said, the bye week was really good to him. Joe Burrow has been playing more like himself lately, so I like the Bengals to come in and win this game outright. Honestly, I might throw a little money, sprinkle some money line in there, but yeah, I love the Bengals in this spot. And with the Brock Purdy news, just icing on top. So,
absolutely love it. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into this next one. We got Chicago at LA Chargers, that is. Oh man, minus 8.5 Chargers, over-under 46.5. 8.5 with this Chargers team. I mean, I think Troy's had 2 heartbreaks from the Chargers 2 weeks in a row. So I mean,
You did too.
yeah, I did have a heartbreak last week too. But yeah, so I mean, for that reason, I'm staying away because, yeah, this Chargers team, what the hell are they? And same thing with the Bears, they're dog shit one week and then they blow out the Commanders. So I mean, we know that they have the parts to put it together and put the wins together, but they just haven't done it yet. So for that reason, I'm just gonna stay away from this one. You got anything on this one, Brennan?
No, I don't at all, honestly. Chargers have not impressed me. I mean, every year I'm waiting for the Chargers to win a Super Bowl. I don't know what I like about Justin Herbert, but I love him for some reason. I think he's just a very quiet kid who is really good at football. Doesn't stays away from the media, man. He just focuses on his game. I'm waiting for that team to just blow everybody out the water because we all know they've had the lineups to do it year in, year out. But no, I mean, Tyler Badgett, as Harrison would say last week. How do we say it? Badgett? Who knows? Badgett, I mean, hey, sometimes you gotta love backup quarterbacks.
Harry said that, but Buddy went out and got a big time dub.
Yeah,
Big time dub.
Hey, sometimes you gotta love backup QBs, man. I just this game could go either way to me. Obviously, I would take Chargers money line any day, but who knows, man? Maybe the Bears can keep it close with the backup QB. Had a good game last week. Maybe get something rolling, but no, I'm staying away from this one.
Anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah. Listen, I mean, we got Tyler Badgett from Division II. Don't even remember the school name. Versus the Chargers, who have not been impressive at all this whole entire year. I can't trust Staley calling anything on that team. He makes them. I tried to stick up for him for so long, but when you bet on him and he just makes terrible decisions, it's tough. So, yeah, no, nothing for me on this game because of Staley and because of Tyler Badgett, whatever the hell his name is, Division II, wherever he went. I don't know. So, anyways, let's go to the next game.
Absolutely.
It wasn't even North Dakota State, I guess. I don't know. Are they D1? Whatever.
No. All right, last game of the week here. Oh, got a phone call coming in.
Hey, we're busy.
Alrighty, last game of the week. We got Las Vegas at Detroit. Just real quick on this one. I mean, I don't really have anything on this one. Only spot I could look would maybe be the Detroit minus the 8.5. The Raiders just got dogged by, like you just said, fucking, what'd you say, Badgett, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah, they just got
Badgett is
whoever that guy is, they just got body bagged by him. So I mean, only spot I could look here would be Detroit minus 8.5, coming off a rough loss with a lot of injuries against Baltimore. We talked about that last week. Troy was on Baltimore. I was leaning Baltimore because of all the Detroit injuries. But I mean, I think Detroit gets healthy this week maybe, and covers this 8.5, this big spread, because God, the Raiders are terrible. But yeah, that's the only way I could look on this one. You got anything on this one, Brennan?
Is Jimmy G back or no?
I'm unsure. I do not think so.
Do we know if Jimmy G's back? I mean, I think I just saw he's questionable.
I think he's expected to come back next week. I don't think he's been practicing.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't have anything on this game. I'm just trying to pick which way I would lean. But I think I'd have to agree with you, Christian. I think after an embarrassing loss for the Lions, I think they're a great football team. I think they've got a lot going for them. I just don't think they settle for getting their ass beat after 1 week and coming out and playing flat next week. Dan Campbell is a freaking monster, dude. Love listening to that guy talk. I could wake up every morning and listen to a freaking speech by that man. I mean, give me, leaning Lions to cover there because Vegas is just a dumpster fire. I don't like the Raiders at all right now. I think their head coach, McDaniel, I mean, I just don't like him for some reason. He's one of those guys, you look at and you just don't like. That's him for me. Give me, if I were to lean, taking the Lions to cover, but nothing on this one personally.
For sure. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, I would lean Lions after that big loss last week. But I just can't get there. Just too big of a number for me. So I like my other games a lot more. So absolutely. I would definitely pass.
Awesome. Love it. All right, let's go ahead and hop into Brennan's here. Guest picks, his 3 best picks. So Let's
Would
see.
I end up with
First pick,
5?
and we'll just have you kind of go through your top 3 picks here. You got Minnesota money line, Miami first half -6, and Baltimore first half -4.5.
Yes, sir.
You want to just go in and tell the audience why you got those?
Like I said, man, Kirko chains. Freaking Packers aren't the same, boys. Packers are not the same. Give me Kirko chains. I mean, pick 'em money line. Did that line change? You say, Troy, or is it still at pick 'em?
Yeah,
What
it's
do we
still
got
had to
'em
pick
at?
them.
Yeah.
Pick
Give
'em.
me pick 'em. Vikings. I think Vikings are. They're getting a hot streak. I know they just had that win over the 49ers. They're building some confidence. They know they're still that team. I think they absolutely dominate the Packers this week.
Awesome. And then you had
And
Miami first
what
half
we had,
-6.
yeah, like I said, same thing. I mean, Patriots fluke win last week against the Bills. Miami, one of the hottest commodity offenses out there. I think the big spread at the end of the game was at 9.5, 9 now. I think that's a little too much for a divisional game to be confident about. But I think at the first half, because like I said, Patriots can maybe hit a backdoor cover. But no, I think Miami comes out hot, score Tyreek Hill, give them a touchdown in the first half for sure. Love that move. Baltimore, just a way better team. I mean, who do we against the Cardinals? Cardinals are 1-6. Got a backup QB. They're banged up. James Conner's out. I mean, Ravens defense stout. Give me Baltimore by 2 scores leading in the first half, and then just kind of mosey out the rest of the game. Whatever, just get through it. But yeah, love those plays. I mean, I think I'm going to start taking these first half plays a little more.
Absolutely. Hey, if you go 3-0 here, you take the lead on all of the guests. By the way, the best
on.
record right now is going to be Zach. He's 2-0-1. So we'll kind of have a little MVP, a guest MVP at the end of the season, and kind of show
Yes,
who's got the
sir.
best record. But yeah, that's it for us guys. Troy, you want to sign us off here, buddy?
Yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, this is Against the Spread now, no longer TNC. We have Brennan coming on next week for our college football show, so look forward to that. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
All right.
See you guys.